Dear students, today topic is on framing questions. Framing questions, it is a part of a grammar. Students, asking questions is probably the most common feature of our everyday use of language. We ask questions for practical purpose, to seek information, to get information, to get confirmation, and to choose between alternatives. Okay, once again I will be repeated. Why do we ask the questions? We ask questions for generally practical purposes, or to seek information, to get confirmation, and to choose between alternatives. But even at the higher level of theory, the importance of asking questions cannot be overemphasized. Okay, the importance of asking questions cannot be overemphasized. There would be no inventions or no discoveries and no progress without asking the right questions at the right time. What it means here? If we ask the question to others on any topic, or relating to any information, or to get the confirmation, or to take the choose the alternatives. Okay, these are all dependent on the asking questions. Without asking question, we cannot get the answer. Means here, like whatever been explained. What is if we ask the question, we in the process of practical purpose, or to get the information, or to get the confirmation, and to choose between alternatives. These are all dependent on the asking questions only. Okay, not only asking the question, not way to get the answer, or to get to seek the information, or to get the information. If we ask the right question, we get the right answer. That is very important. Right questions at the right time, that is very important. That situation, and that is process of questioning. This is very important to get the whatever we expected from others. The kind of answers you get often depends on kinds of questions you ask. Okay, the kind of answers. Okay, which type of questions do you like to ask the others? Those answers depended on what did you ask. This is important. Asking questions is a skill, and asking questions correctly is an art. Don't ask in the way of confusing. Okay, that is also one kind of a skill, to ask a question in the right time, in the right situation. Okay, and at the same time, if someone asks you right question, and we can say easily the right answer also. Okay, here asking question is a kind of skill. Okay, there is no question for there is no answer for that question. What is the need? What is the need of that question? Nothing. So the ask a question also a skill. Like The type of questions. Where do you work? Okay, where do you work? For example, you can say simply answer I work in the university. I work in the university. Are you a teacher? Yes, I am. Yes, I am a teacher. Suitable questions, suitable answers. Do you like teaching or administration? Do you like teaching or administration? I like teaching. I like teaching. Whether you like teaching or administration. Teaching is a noble profession, isn't it? For this, we get confirmation from that. Which question is going to ask to others. That question, some kind of situations, we can say that answer is like a confirm. Yes, it is. Teaching is a noble profession, isn't it? Okay. Next, you may have noticed that different kinds of questions. Okay. You may have noticed. Okay. That different kinds of questions have to be answered differently. What are the questions? Where do you work? And are you a teacher? And do you like teaching or administration? Teaching is a noble profession, isn't it? These are the questions. These are the questions or differently framed questions. Next, kinds of questions. Kinds of questions. What kind of questions are there? How do we ask? Okay, first one, information questions or double H questions. We get information from that question. Second one, yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. While anybody asks you a question, we can say easily yes or no. That kind of questions are yes or no questions. Next, alternative questions. Alternative questions. That questions have the alternatives. You may select which do you like the most. Last one, tag questions. Tag questions. These kind of questions have in English. And first we discuss the information questions. Okay, what is another name of double H questions? Double H. Okay, you can understand. Which is mentioned double H, you can understand. It means whatever that questions are going to be framed, those questions are to start with double H, like what, which, where, when, like that. Okay, I will give you some information about information questions. Information questions begin with who, what, where, how much, and so on. Okay, here included H words also, which are called question words. And question using these words cannot be answered with yes or no. Okay, this type of questions you may anybody will ask you. You can't answers like that yes or no. You must be give the information or a response to that question particularly. Okay, which is asked to you. Okay, here information question we call to that kind of questions here information questions. Information questions begin with who, like WHO, WCN, WCT, what, and where, like this. When, and questions using these words cannot be answered with yes or no. Some information is given in response. They are called information questions. Okay, example. What is your name? Okay, this question is start with WH. WH what? What is your name and where do you study? Who choice was it? Who teaches you English? Which subject do you like most? And why is it your favorite subject? And how do you go to college? Okay, these are all questions you know well. These questions are very well known. You know very well, and you we may ask the questions starting with WH word. We are going to ask WH questions. The WH questions get the answers and like informations response informations in given a response. And which subject do you like most? Why is it your favorite subject? These kind of questions. Next, second one is yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. Yes or no questions. Are you a teacher? Okay, how do you give the answer for that questions? Are you a teacher? How you may say that answer in the way yes or no, like that. Okay, the response to such questions to be affirmative means yes or negative no, but it should be all affirmative or all negative. How here that is very important, but it should be all affirmative or all negative, which is going to give answer to a particular questions in the form of yes or no questions. You should be give in the form of all affirmative or all negative. Okay, are you a teacher? Are you a teacher? Yes, I am. No, I am not. Yes, I am. If you are doing a teacher job, you can say yes, I am. If you are not doing, if you are not a teacher, you can say here, no, I am not. Here in this sentence, in yes or no questions, you don't try to say and never say here yes I am not, no I am. This kind of answer is not suitable for that yes or no question. Okay, you have to remember, you never say such answer to like yes or no questions. Yes I am not. Yes I am. First you have to say here no I am not. No I am. This is the right. This is the not right one. Yes I am not. Next, alternative questions. Alternative means you know very well that question have the one or more answers also. Alternative. Okay, do you like teaching or administration? Okay, which one do you like? Which one do you prefer? Do you like teaching or administration? Well, you have to say, okay, if I teach, I can say here teaching. If you are interested in administration, you can say administration. Next, such questions offer alternative, and response may be either or both or neither of the alternatives. Okay, you can understand that sentence. Response may be either or both, neither of the alternatives. Such questions are called alternative questions. Alternative questions are Alternative questions are used with the word or, and they cannot be answered with yes or no. A full sentence is needed as an answer. Okay, do you like teaching or administration? Yes, I like teaching. This kind of answers are suitable for that question, alternative questions. Finally, tag questions. I will give you an example. Teaching is a noble profession, which is given in the first. No, teaching is a noble profession, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, it is. You can say the answer. Here, note that the question tag at the end draw attention to the statement that precedes it. Teaching is a noble profession, isn't it? Here, this question is tag question. This question is tag question. Note that the question tag at the end draw attention to the statement that precedes it. What is the attention in this, isn't it? Okay, you get some attention from that question. Okay, such questions are called tag questions. Questions tag are not usually questions. They only expect agreement. Hence they may be remembered as confirmation questions. Tag questions are usually used only in conversation and not in formal English. Okay, tag questions are usually used only in conversation and not in formal English. Here, these are all instructions you should be remember, which are I am going to give some instructions. Those instructions are not mentioned in this PPT. Okay, you should be write yourself which is I am going to say. If the statement is in the affirmative means positive. The tag is in the negative. Okay, this is the first one, you note it down. If the statement is in the affirmative, the tag question in the negative. Okay, how? You are a student, aren't you? You are a student. This is a positive. Affirmative positive means affirmative or positive. This statement is you are a student. This is a statement. This is affirmative statement. Okay, next the tag questions. The tag question is which is you going to confirm that one that should be in the negative. The tag is in the negative. This is important. Which is we are going to write that sentence is depended on that statement, that if it is a negative or a positive. If it is a positive, we should write the tag in the negative. If the statement in the negative, if the statement is in the negative, the tag is in the affirmative. Just different. If the statement is in the negative, the tag in the affirmative, opposite. Okay, you aren't a bad student, are you? Are you is here positive, means affirmative. Okay, you can understand that sentence, that statement. You aren't a bad student. This is a negative. Okay, you can understand. If it is a negative statement, we should be right. The tag question is in positive, means affirmative. Next, third rule is the subject of the tag question is always a pronoun and it is a substitute for the subject of the statement. The subject of the tag question is always pronoun and it is a substitute for the subject of the statement. How? I will give you one example. Ramesh is a student. Ramesh is a subject. Okay? Ramesh is the subject. Okay, how do we substitute for that one? Okay, we can write here in the tag that is in the form of pronoun. Pronouns he, she, and it, they, and also like that. Ramesh is a student. Okay, in the form of a affirmative statement, and that statement is started with a Ramesh. How can we write here? How do we write here? Here is not, isn't he. He is substituted for Ramesh. He is substituted for Ramesh. Next, Jahira is not a teacher. Jahira is not a teacher. Okay, which rule I explained before these sentences. That is a negative affirmative. That is a negative sentence. Negative. Okay, we should be write the tag in the positive affirmative. Okay, Jahira isn't a teacher. Okay, we have to underline here that is the name of a person. Okay, how do we write? How do we substitute for the Jahira? Jahira is a girl. Okay, what is the pronoun to substitute for the girl? Okay, Jahira isn't a teacher, is she? She is the pronoun substitute for Jahira. Jahira is a girl, a woman. That's why we used here she. Okay, that is the third rule. Next, the pronoun is fourth one. The pronoun is used in the tag according to the number. Okay, if it is a singular or a plural. Number means okay, gender or feminine or masculine, and person, first, second, third person, like that. This is the fourth rule, important, of the subject of the statement. How do we write? Ramesh is a student, isn't he? And Jahira isn't a teacher, is she? Here, Ramesh and Jahira are students. Okay, this is the sentence. This is the sentence. Depended on a number. Hey. Okay, in this rule, you have to understood in this sentence two numbers are there. Okay, how do we write? Ramesh and Jahira are students, aren't they? We used here that pronoun is they. Okay, if that is a plural, we should be use they. Next rule, in the tag as in other yes or no type questions, the verb is shifted to the beginning of the tag. Because this is the rule you may understood. In the tag as in other yes or no type questions, the verb is shifted to the beginning of the tag. How? Your mother is a teacher. Okay, your mother is a teacher. Okay, the before sentence also you may understood. Okay, your mother is a teacher. Here we can write here isn't she, like that. The other be forms are, is, was and were are repeated in the tag. They are student, aren't they? And they were in the college yesterday, weren't they? In the case of linking verbs, other than be appropriate form of do in the statement is repeated in the tag. Okay, if we want to complete this kind of tag questions, we should be know that tense, a particular tense we have to identify that one. Otherwise there is no chance to write a tag. Okay, they attend college every day. Okay, they attend college every day. Okay, attend is the verb in the form of V1. Okay, verb 1. Okay, they attend the college every day. This is relating to the simple present tense, and at the same time here which is used that they is third person plural. Okay, that is sentence is in present tense, and at the same time person is third person plural. So here how do we write a tag? Okay, this is present tense, so that's why you write here do, and that statement is in the form of affirmative, positive. We can write here negative or don't, contraction, don't, and they, don't they that person, don't they, you can complete. Okay, which is we mentioned do, that is very very important. Okay, if it is a plural and the statement is in the present tense, you may use do. Okay, that subject, okay, is in plural, you may write there do. Next sentence we see, next example, you got good marks last year. Okay, you got good marks last year. Okay, here what is the tense is here, you got, get, got. Okay, this is the past tense. Okay, you, and at the same time this is result about the last year. Okay, if the statement is in the past tense, we should be mentioned there did. Okay, do, does and did, like that you have to use in the statement relating to the that person which they are going to mention a particular statement. Here that statement is in the past tense, and at the same time that is second person singular. Okay, you got good marks last year. Okay, this is the got is in the past tense. Okay, we have to write here did, and this sentence, this statement is in the form of affirmative, and we can write here in the form of negative. The tag is should be in negative. Okay, did, did not you, did not you, that is the right tag for that statement. Next, she also works at home. She also works at home. Okay, what do you understand from this statement? She also works. This is also present tense. Okay, if the subject in that particular statement, that affirmative statement started with a singular, a third person singular, that verb is going to write in the form of work or v1 plus s, means here v1 plus s or es, like that. Okay, we can understand that sentence is in the present tense, simple present tense, and at the same time that statement is started with a third person singular. If that sentence is started with a third person singular subject, we should be mentioned that verb in the form of v1 plus s, means work is a verb, and this sentence added s, works. Okay, we can understand easily that kind of sentences are used to write in the tag questions, or we may. Okay, here we have to understand, while we are going to attempt a tag questions, we should be particularly a perfect knowledge, should have the perfect knowledge on tenses, otherwise we cannot do tag questions here. Okay, if that subject is third person singulars, we should be right here does. Do for plural form, plural third person plurals, and here the third person singulars, he, she, it, and names like that, we should be right here does, and at the same tag is should be right in the form of negative, shouldn't she. If there is a name, you can write he or she, like that. You should be right in the form of a tag questions if the statement is started with a name, and you can mention their pronouns he, she, like that. Okay, these are all relating to the tag questions and their rules. I hope you may understood which I have been explained to you. You note down all the rules, and you can understand easily. Otherwise, these type of questions are not possible to write easily. Okay, students, thank you. You should learn perfectly. Thank you.